When the Earth makes one complete rotation on its axis, it gives us 1 day or 24 hours. And when the Earth completes one orbit around the Sun, it gives us 1 full year. So when we say we have completed 1 year, that's our Earth spinning 366 times on its axis and once around the Sun. When the whole concept of day and night, the seasons and the years is reliant on Earth's rotation, why not also measure time in a similar display where the Earth spins to show you the time? Pretty simple and straightforward idea when you come to think of it. But the idea that never crossed any other watch manufacturer's mind in around 300 years. In today's world, where we wear watches not just to tell the time, but also to enjoy the experience and design elements, the wristwatches are not so much just the measuring instruments as the first preference. Rather, their looks, what they stand for, and how they define us are what take the precedence. In the same context of what the CIGA design Blue Planet stands for, as quoted by its founder, is this: I want this watch to be a symbol for people who love Earth. I want to remind people to protect, preserve, and love the Earth. And when you look at the Blue Planet, you instantly notice the ingenuity and originality of the looks and design. A watch where the globe on the dial represents the spherical Earth, and it's not just an aesthetical design element. Rather, the Earth then rotates and completes a full rotation to show you the time, just like the hour hand in typical watches. Then there's impressive amount of detail, three-dimensionality and architecture on the dial, where there's micro-carved decoration of real-world topographic features, replicating the mountains, the map of the world, the islands, the ocean, and those blue hues that remind us to preserve the Mother Nature and the beautiful landscape that surrounds us. CIGA Design is the first Chinese watch manufacturer to have ever won the GPHG Award in the 21 years history of GPHG Award. And although the aesthetics on the Blue Planet are simply interesting and innovative, the time display is rather very original. It is by design a single hand watch with the compass on the dial, or shall I say, the compass on the Earth, on the Indian Ocean, representing the pointer for time reading. This compass, along with the globe, makes one full rotation in 12 hours, while the outer ring with the hour readings remains static. How it measures the minutes is executed by a rotating inner ring, where the minute chapter completes 390-degree rotation in 12 hours. How you read the time is rather pretty simple. The minute marking and the hour marking above the compass pointer is what the current time is. So where did the idea come from? This is where the founder of CIGA Design had to say. When I first started up, I looked back 200 years of watch history and asked myself, is there anything that has never been invented? What I found was that nearly every watch had 1, 2 or 3 hands. In most of today's watches, when the hour hand rotates by 30 degrees, the minute hand rotates 360 degrees. But in our watch, when the inner globe hand rotates 30 degrees, the minute hand completes 390 degrees. Under the macro and upon an up-close inspection, you can really see the attention to detail and how immaculately CIGA Design have executed the impressions, protrusions and depressions, showcasing the mountains, rocky grounds, and then the transition into beautiful blue ocean. And it can easily be seen that the three-dimensionality is not just limited to the convexity of the globe, but also the texture imprinted on the dial, or shall we say, on the Earth. The decoration and the execution doesn't end here. Rather, the minute chapter ring has minute markings that are also protruded. Similar is the case with the hour indices and graduations, and there is a depth to them, as opposed to more entry-level watches where such markings are simply painted. These protruded minute and hour graduations work exceptionally well with the three-dimensional globe dial. The finish on the case is also superb, and the brushed lines and the consistency of the pattern is impressive. The case is beautifully rounded, adding to the natural looks and complementing the overall watch experience. CIGA's website doesn't specify if the movement is in-house or outsourced, but the case back does state that it's customized movement, meaning that it is heavily modified to enable the watch to display the time with the center globe rotating along with the minute chapter ring. Then there's the achievement of GPHG Award in 2021, stated on the sapphire crystal, proud and loud. The movement is self-winding, meaning that it will energize with your natural wrist movements, thanks to the bidirectional rotor system. The watch has 40 hours of power reserve. On the wrist, the Blue Planet has wrist presence, and that is a given for a watch sized at 46mm. But thanks to the lugless case design, the watch is very wearable. In fact, it is a lot more wearable than many 40mm watches. The reason I say this is because not just the Blue Planet has a case with no lugs, but also the strap tapers straight down before the case ends. That is, the distance between both of the straps is only 36mm. This means that if you have a 36mm watch with a lugless design, the Blue Planet will wear just like that. Talk about intelligent design. The watch, although, has a 46mm case, so it does not look that small or discreet. And with that stunning 3D globe dial and rotating earth, it is a loud watch and it attracts attention in a beautiful way. Does it start the conversation? Most definitely. The watch case thickness is 15mm, but that is also due to the domed crystal. And if you measure only the metal part of the case, it is only under 12mm. CIGA designed Blue Planet is a watch with unique looks, aesthetics, and a three-dimensional experience where you have the earth on your wrist, revolving around its axis, and not just telling you the time, but also reminding you of the blue planet we live in, and to preserve its beauty and brilliance in every way we can. It's not a diving watch, it's not a jewel time or chronograph. It is a watch for exact purpose that we wear and enjoy the watches for: the experience, the pleasure, and the personality. In the today's world, the watches we wear define who we are, and then sometimes they define what they stand for. And rarely these watches serve for us as a gentle reminder that if we don't preserve the world we live in, without it, there's no watches, no time, no wrist rolls, and no talks of watchmaking. Without the blue planet we live in, there's nothing.